Hi guys, welcome back to the third and final installment of the Muscle and Fitness Nice Body series with me, Rob Richards. If you remember from the previous two videos, we've been pulling information, tips, techniques from when we spoke with Mike O'Hearn, the king of bodybuilding, powerlifting, mixed martial arts, actor, you name it, he's done it. Been taking tips from the big guy himself and really putting them into the world of bodybuilding, physique training, and making the most of lifting heavy weight to grow our physique, add lean, thick, dense muscle. The third video, we'll be taking a look at deadlift, or as Mike called it, the man lift. A great compound lift that works practically every muscle in the body and really helps develop and thicken out the lower portion of the back, as well as working the arms, delts, shoulders, and legs. So first, let's have a look at how Mike not to do a deadlift, and then we'll kind of take that apart and show you how to perform it correctly and load on some weight. And to really show you how all of the muscles are working, let's take off the Muscle and Fitness t-shirt. So I just want to point out that this example is not how I would deadlift. This is how, based on what Mike and I had spoken about, how incorrectly people are doing deadlifts. So take note. That just feels all wrong to me. And let me explain why. First of all, we're stood too far away from the bar. A proper deadlift, our shins are literally scraping up against the bar. You ever wonder why you see the big guys with cuts and bruises all up their shins? It's because they deadlift. If you don't want the cuts and bruises, wear jogging pants, sweatpants, wear the long gym socks, cover it up, but stay close to the bar. The second thing that I purposely did incorrectly was I didn't fully sit down into that squat, the kind of start of the deadlift. I was over, I lift, it just feels wrong. Lift with my back, my hips and knees are barely moving. I'm feeling a lot of strain on here. This is all in my upper back. I'm not really feeling any around the lower section of that back. Certainly not using my legs and arms the way they should. So let me kind of go through that first rep again and show you proper technique based on what Mike and I have discussed in previous videos. Much better. Number of different things that changed there. First of all, like I said, I'm much closer. Therefore, I keep the bar and that weight much closer to the center of my gravity. Secondly, I sit back into it, just like we did on the squat in the second video. My hips go back and down. Really, I'm not pushing my knees any further forwards. And the grip, I've got a fairly wide overhand grip, chest up, head, I'm focusing upwards. Breathe in, focus. Long arms straight. I push with my legs, hips forwards, locking up. My arms don't bend. My chest stays up and I'm not leaning over, rounding off my shoulders. Then pull back. And then straight down. Finally, grip. Now I am using an overhand grip, both hands at the same time, like so, which for the first couple of work sets are fine. You heard me mention with Mike that I prefer not to use a lifting belt or wraps or lifting straps, just like Mike does. And the reason for that is mainly I don't want to become over-reliant on using lifting aids, because then if I don't have them or I'm not able to reach my full potential without them, that kind of defies the point of lifting heavy within my ability. So overhand grip is fine until I can't grip that much weight. Once I'm on about 3 plates, I'll change to a cross grip, which for me happens to be about the same width. Now you'll see in the ebook under the actual training and technique chapters, I talk about different variations in stance. And just to kind of recap them, we have our, what I call a standard or neutral stance. We also have a much wider sumo stance where when we go down, our grip is within our stance as opposed to the standard one. And you'll see within the ebook, this is really down to your personal preference, but in terms of powerlifting, this is the standard to go by. So, let's start to get some weight on there. Let's build up our reps. Again, I'm sticking with a kind of a 7, 5, 3, maybe a 1 rep max, and then finishing off on a 3 or 5 rep. So, let's get the plates on. Good, kind of pre-warm up. Haven't reached my first work set until probably 3 plates, so I'm going to allow enough rest to allow my body to recover, get my breath back, refocus my kind of mindset, and then we'll start really for real on those 3 plates either side, building up to hopefully 5 and a bit plates. A couple of minutes rest first. Solid 7 there. I'm starting to feel it now. My hamstrings and in my lower back as well. So let's get that 4th plate on there. Start to really focus on moving that weight effectively and correctly. Putting in all of those tips, technique, keeping that bar close to my shin, keeping my chest up, and making sure I squat down and lift up instead of simply just stiff legged deadlift and arching my back. Shoulders always back, focus on the legs and the back. Couple of minutes rest there first. You know, when you start to bring all of that technique into your lift, especially when you've gotten used to the style of lifting, maybe if you've been lifting like I showed you before, somewhat incorrectly, or you can see where you need to improve on your lifting style, you can really start to maximize how much weight you can actually lift, and you feel it in the muscles as you're lifting. It's not just a dynamic movement that you think, I'll go through the motions. You can literally feel those muscle fibers start to tear. Now there's something barbaric about that, but if like me, and certainly like Mike, you love going into the gym and just tearing up the weights, tearing the muscle and feeling like the next day you can't move, you can't walk downstairs, you can't sit down. It sounds crazy, I know, but for those who are passionate about weight training, bodybuilding, powerlifting, just building their physique, this is what helps you achieve that. It's 4 plates either side. That one felt, I don't want to say comfortable, but it felt good. I felt that one, but let's put another plate on, 5 plates, and certainly get 1 or 2 reps out, giving it everything I've got. All right, here we go. 10 plates on the bar, and like I did with squats, I'll take my shoes off for 2 reasons. One, even though these aren't that padded, I certainly don't want the sole of the heel to blow out when I've got nearly 500 pounds lifted. So it means I have better connection with the floor. And secondly, I'm a little bit shorter, which means less distance for that bar to come. So they say every inch or half an inch counts. I don't know who says that, but apparently they do. All right, crunch time, let's get to it. Like Mike said, you've got to get your head in the game, you've got to visualize, you've got to believe that you can already lift this weight. If you doubt it, you're not going to achieve that rep. I know I can lift this. Can I lift it now? Let's find out. Come on. Now, I only got 1 rep out. I said I wanted to try 2, but right there, right now, that 1 rep was literally everything I got. I did it. I'm proud I did it. Next time, I can add a 2nd rep, but I need to keep trying to increase weights. If I can get 2 reps, 3 reps with 5 plates, that's a big, big gain. Then, and only then, can I start to add on smaller increments of weights. And really, that's my big tip here. Yes, you need to be lifting heavy. You need to be doing the big movements, but you don't need to be lifting as much weight as you can humanly lift if you're only achieving 1 rep. I'd say 3 reps is your limit. You can achieve 3, add more weight. Every now and again, once a month, go to your 1 rep max, see what you can achieve, and your absolute maximum 1 rep, use that as your upper limit to work back and do a percentile for every lift. And you'll see in the ebook how I describe the kind of training cycle for 75, 80, 90, 92% of your 1 rep max. You don't need to be achieving your 1 rep max every single workout. So hopefully over the course of the previous 3, including that chat with Mike earlier, the 3 powerlifting specials, you can take into account a lot of the tips and exercise modifications that Mike and I had a look at to help you improve your physique, whether it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, physique, or just to get in great shape for the summer or any time of the year. I like what Mike said earlier. He trains for a competition every day. So if you want to look your best, train heavy, focus on the nutrition, have a look at the nutrition segment that I wrote for the ebook and that series, the video as well. And also check out the other Nice Body series, MMA, CrossFit, and Physique to really help bring in all of the top tricks from the best in the industry. I'm Rob Richards. You've been watching the Nice Body series through Muscle and Fitness. Do stay tuned for more and check me out online with more great articles on Muscle and Fitness. See you then.